Hi, I'm Larry Skogen, the Interim Chancellor of the North Dakota University System. And first thing, because this is my first message to you in this new year, is Happy New Year to everybody. Our spring semester is well underway, and I thank all of you for the great work that you're doing for all of our students on all of our institutions. We have a lot of exciting things happening on our campuses, but my purpose today is to give you an update on the State Board of Higher Ed meeting that occurred last week at Lake Region State College. One of the things that we've initiated at board meetings is to allow institutions to talk about really the exciting things going on their campuses. And so this last week we had a presentation on the unmanned aircraft systems by Dr. Bruce Smith at UND and Dr. Kelly Rush from NDSU. This whole UAS thing is just really exciting. North Dakota was chosen as one of only 6 test sites for UAS in the United States. And NDSU and UND are integral parts of that whole process. And so we're really excited to see about the possibilities that will occur out of that testing. Also last week we discussed the possibility of a separation between Dakota College at Bottineau from Minot State University. Last fall, the board asked me to spend time with Dr. Fuller and Dr. Gross and to have discussions with the folks at those two institutions on whether or not they should be separated. Currently, Dr. Gross is the Dean of Dakota College Bottineau that reports to President Fuller of Minot State University. And in December, we had a number of listening sessions at both those institutions and in those communities, and we found out and reported to the State Board of Higher Ed that there certainly is no appetite to change that relationship, so that will continue in the future. We also had some very interesting, if not disturbing, reports on alcohol and substance abuse in our system, as well as the work being done on student mental health. Those are really important issues for the well-being of our students, and you're certainly going to hear more about that. And of course, all of you know that technology is changing higher education at an incredible rate, and so we had some briefings on distance education, both that's delivered from the state of North Dakota and that's delivered into the state of North Dakota. And you're going to hear a lot more about that in the coming months. Finally, the board did spend a significant amount of time talking about pathways to student success. I thought it was an incredible, healthy discussion, and it did demonstrate it. All the board members spoke up, and the presidents all spoke up, and I spoke up, and that there's some real differences of opinions, but it was a very healthy conversation. And in the end, it certainly is clear that all concerned are committed to improving student success and that they want the university system and our institutions to do incredibly well, but that there is a desire to have an admissions index of some kind, and so we're going to move forward in exploring that possibility. I am pleased to report that at the meeting, the board gave the institution some breathing space, let's say, on pathways, so that we can step back. We can ensure that the work of our task force that are working very hard on the issues relevant to pathways, and that those task force will be able to put together some really relevant information obtained from the educators' input on this plan before it gets rolled out. Currently, we have task force that are working on a number of issues on pathways. One of them is the admissions indexing that I already mentioned, and we just recently had a meeting that included the Academic Affairs Council and the Student Affairs Council, a joint meeting, and they were briefed by a representative from Smarter Balance that will be the new statewide assessment, and all of that's going to have to be taken into consideration as we consider admission indexes. As well, we're talking a lot about remediation, or I would rather call it college preparedness, and the possibilities here. There's 2 task forces working on those possibilities. One is, how do you make sure that students coming straight out of high school are prepared, and how do you make sure the older than average student that comes back to college is fully prepared? We are also working very diligently on being able to report college preparedness back to our school districts. And finally, we've got a task force that's working on tuition and fee models, so there's more transparency and that students and parents alike understand the tuition models better. And so those task forces are all making great strides. And in all of this, we're also working very closely with K-12 across the state to ensure that we have their input. We cannot have a discussion about education in the state of North Dakota that does not include K-12 and higher education working jointly on these many important issues. So the presidents, your presidents, and their teams across the system will be involved in the final recommendation as we go back to the board with suggested changes to the Pathways Plan. I am very pleased with this new direction. I'm confident that we will be able to collaboratively develop the best possible model for student success in North Dakota. Once again, thank you for all you do for our students, and thank you for all you do for the future of the great state of North Dakota.